Israeli parliament. I mean, what do the people of Israel on the ground think of the United States? Do they think that we are standing with them?
Well, we know that the American people are behind us, but what we see coming from Washington is confusion. I think President Obama decided not to decide. It started in June 2009 when he came to Cairo. By the way, Judge, he didn't came to visit us in Jerusalem. And in Cairo, he gave a speech of appeasement, trying to tell to the Muslim radicals, let's talk. Well, it doesn't work that way in the Middle East. People see it here as a sign of weakness. And today we see the results of the appeasement policy of President Obama. And unfortunately, we knew it. But now I think you also in the United States, you're seeing the results of the appeasement policy.
And the latest problem seems to be that Prime Minister Netanyahu wanted to meet with the president, and at first the White House said, you know, that the Netanyahu never asked, and then they said, oh well, our schedules conflicted. Are the people of Israel concerned about that as well?
Well, we're very concerned, Judge. And we see it as a continuation of President Obama's policies regarding Israel. We have a very strong connection. We have the same values, same heritage, and unfortunately the same enemies. Look at the pictures. They are burning the Israeli flag and the American flag. And not because of the settlement or occupation. They just hate us. It's a war of religion, of radical Muslims who do not care about what we are doing or how much money you are giving them. And I think Prime Minister Netanyahu must meet President Obama at the end of this month to discuss the issue of Iran. With all due respect to David Letterman's show, the issue of Iran is much more important than any other thing.
Well, and certainly, you know, things have been a little frosty given President Obama's suggestion that Israel abide by the pre-67 borders. But hopefully there'll be some ability to connect. Let me ask you one final question. Are people in Israel concerned that there will be a war in the Middle East?
Judge, in my book that I just published, I write it very clear. Unfortunately, every few years we have to engage in a conflict. And it has nothing to do with what we're willing to do. Because of the incitement and the hatred that those countries are teaching their children, it's going to happen. So yes, we are getting ready for the next conflict. We do not know when it will take place. But one thing I can guarantee you, we cannot allow Iran become nuclear. Because if that will happen, it will be a different kind of conflict, and it will hurt also the American people as well.
What do you want to see from the United States now, Danny?
We expect to see some leadership. I will prefer to see a president who will say to the Israelis, we are not supporting you. But what we are seeing today is a lack of leadership when President Obama is deciding not to decide. In one hand, he is telling us, hold your horses, do not do anything regarding Iran. On the other hand, we don't know what he is intending to do. And I think also today, when you see the pictures in the embassies, and you see the brutal massacre of the ambassador in Libya, you understand who are the good guys and who are the bad guys. And you have to stand with a moral decision with the good guys.
Well, certainly it needs a moral core. All right, Danny Danon from the Likud party in the Knesset, thank you so much for joining us this evening.